56th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select.
That's So Dolphins Talk with John Baker and Trigga Trey Proctor.
Let me check your pulse if you're not fired up.
Dude, are we good?
Dude, we're the best team in the league.
If you don't have eye black at home, you better go get some eye black.
Oh my god, we're back.
Welcome into another edition of That's So Dolphins Talk. I'm your host, Johnny Bakeshow, and I got the co-pilot, Trigga Trey, who is fresh off of a Miami vacation. Got to see
sadness.
full of sadness. Got to see the most putrid display of football I probably have ever seen in my life. How was it being in the building?
Juices were high to start because Snoop was playing. So everyone was excited about that. Everyone was pumped that Snoop was going to get the start. And the game was relatively close, so it felt like the crowd was pretty loud on third down. Like I was relatively surprised. My dad got his face painted and then made it on the Jumbotron, which is absolutely hilarious. And we got a picture of it.
Yeah, we'll put it up.
Yeah, we'll put it up here. Hold on, let me
It's so great. That picture was so awesome.
this is absolutely the best. That made the trip worth it, even though the Dolphins played horrible. Getting my dad on the Jumbotron. That was his first game ever in Hard Rock. He's been to a couple Dolphins games, but his first game ever in Hard Rock, and we got his ass on the Jumbotron. Which he
How high were the spirits after that first Snoop throw?
Oh, dude, spirits were so high. You're not gonna be able to see, are you? Probably
Yeah.
not. No.
We'll
All
put
right,
it
well,
on the screen.
yeah, we'll put it up on there. But spirits were high. I was like, okay, we're delivering. Here's the thing. Okay. If McDaniel would figure out how to build an offense around the player that he has playing quarterback versus trying to fit a player into his scheme. It's the same thing. Go back to RG3, go back to Cam Newton, go back to any quarterback that had like a specialty and not just running. It's to his accuracy. It's Brady and Manning's ability to see the game pre-snap. So basically, hey, call a formation and let them decide what play to run. Like if you go back in NFL history, every single great team has had an offense built around the players.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, McDaniel has built this offense around him. The reason I'm saying that is because towards the end of the game, they started going empty and five wide and allowed, we spread the defense out, and it was very simple route concepts. There wasn't anything crazy, but we allowed the Ferraris to make plays. And I don't understand why he is so resistant to doing that. But that was the best they looked at the end of the game when they started to go a little hurry up and they were spread. And, Snoop was able to use legs and run. There were some flashy moments. But, at the end of the day, I'm trying to talk up an offense. It's the worst offense in the league right now. And I think, you felt that in the building. I mean, there was loud boos towards it got loud with the boos. Especially going into the half and obviously at the end of the game. But it's just some of the play calling in the building. And one thing I will say before we get too far into the game, our fans got a little bit smarter than the last time I was there. It seems like they understand situational football a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's just because we have more people paying attention, or we did because we were such a good team last year that people were showing up to the games. And It's not just a vacation spot. There's actual football fans there. But it seemed like we had a pretty intelligent crowd for once. Normally they have no idea what's going on, and there's just a bunch of rich dudes ordering shots for some call girl that they found in the parking lot down in the suites, and no one's paying attention to the game. But no, the environment was good. Tailgate was fun. It's hard to not have a good time at a Miami sporting event in general. But obviously, you would like to see him come out with the win. But yeah, probably the most disappointing thing was that we just didn't use Snoop the way I expected us to.
Yeah, I don't understand. My frustration grows because everything seems to be happening behind the line of scrimmage, and Like you can't go north if you're going east and west. Like it's
Dude, the screen passes are constantly. Every play is a screen.
I don't
It seems
understand.
like.
It's literally like Adam Gase is just
It
it,
might be worse, dude. It
it's
literally
worse.
might be
Yeah,
worse.
that's what I'm, and that's why I have no, because what we're doing here, we're gonna do like the state of the Dolphins because there's nothing really good to talk about this team. Like there's nothing to really look forward to other than coming off the bye week, and I don't even know. It seems like Tua's gonna play after the bye week. I don't think it's going to be enough to save the season. I think it's a lost cause. I don't think that they're just going to magically turn it on.
I
And
mean, I think it if you look that throw to Tyreek that Snoop missed should have been a touchdown.
that's fair. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a whole different ballgame then. And that fucking turnover, dude, I don't know how that still didn't look like a backwards pass to me. I don't understand that.
The one
But
Huntley threw to Tyreek,
yeah,
it was backwards.
it was hard for me to tell in the stadium, but like it did. I don't know. So that was irritating. The stupid kickoff rule. There were just so many things that happened that like we should have won that football game. We really should have. Probably the most infuriating thing about what I saw that night was short yardage, 4th and inches, 3rd and 1, whatever it was. We needed not even a football length, and we
Mhm.
go shotgun outside zone,
Or we do a jet sweep.
or we do a jet sweep.
I don't know.
Something outside. What?
That's so,
Stop trying. You're not, dude. He thinks he's smarter than everyone in the NFL,
and he's not.
and he's not.
He's
Just turn
not.
around, sneak it with Snoop Huntley, who is made to run the football, or give it to Ingold. Like that's
Oh,
fine.
don't give it to Ingold.
I
Everyone
have listen.
got
I have
that
no
figured
problem if
out.
it's Ingold up the gut. If we get stopped running fucking ISO through our center, fine. But I can't get shotgun run outside zone out of my head on 4th and 1.
I this is what, so your 5-step plan last week was kind of in shambles a little bit, but at the same point, the McDaniel, he literally, his ego is so high. He thinks that he is smarter than everybody else, that he is digging his own grave. Like he's throwing dirt on himself at this point by the way he's calling the offense and just his unwillingness to change. Like he doesn't want to change anything.
Yeah, I
And
just don't understand why he's so afraid to make like a change in the offense. Like, is he just like these are grown adults? Like, there's you could change an offense in a week's time if you wanted to, and you may not have a full complement of playbooks, but like you could literally change the offense is a zone scheme. Like the run game does not need to change. It's a zone scheme, that's fine.
mhm.
But in terms of like the passing concepts and just like the basic stuff that is seen in every NFL game, we don't do it. There's very little play action out from under center. There's very little. I don't feel like any play is setting up another play unless it's our bread and butter play that we run, which we didn't really run any of last week. So I guess that they just have decided that only Tua can run that play, which again, all of this is fine, but the player you built the offense around isn't in the game. So you've got to. You're right, dude. He's literally his ego is. I don't know if it's his ego or he just can't do it. Like I don't know which one it is.
Well, he's already proven that he can do it before, and maybe he just straight up lied, and it was everybody else. Like it was McVay and Shanahan and LaFleur that came up with that plan in Washington whenever they had RG3 and they had to form the offense mid-year. Like that feels like it wasn't him. It feels like the run game coordination that was going on in San Francisco was not him. I don't understand. He like he just, his short yardage situations have been always awful. Like, yeah, they've converted over the years with short passes and all that, but when you have to line up and run the football right into somebody's face, he does not do it and he will not do it. I can't get out of my head, like you can't get out of your head the zone run out of shotgun on 4th and 1. I can't out trying to run a jet sweep on 4th and 1. It's
Right.
obvious with Tyreek. It was
Yeah.
as soon as I saw Tyree going in motion, I was like, that's a jet sweep.
Yep.
Literally handed it right to him. I don't, he's too predictable. It's so predictable. And I don't understand why yes, I understand that it's exactly what you said. they build an offense built off of timing and um they built the offense off of timing and all of that, but like you don't have that. So like everybody in the NFL does not have to run an offense built off timing. You don't have
Correct.
an offense built off timing. Put in simple concepts that everyone can run and just go. And he won't do it. He literally will not do it. That's why I think that this team is like legitimately dead. That's why I think they're doomed. I think it's not going to change. Their Ross has shown over the years, literally Ross has shown throughout his ownership that he will not fire somebody when they need to be fired. He will fire them a year later. So I would be highly surprised if Chris Greer is fired this year. He'll
Oh
probably get
no.
fired in 2 years when it doesn't matter anymore. He's not going to do anything to change what's going on with McDaniel. It's going to be way too late, way too far down the road. It's just frustrating because we have an awful owner. He knows nothing about football.
We have I,
No
I
one
don't
wants to make
hate.
any. No one. Everyone's afraid to make changes. Everyone's afraid.
Everyone seems to be afraid to make like the tough decision. I would agree with that. The other thing is, it's just like I said it last week. McDaniel basically has from when Tua gets back to the end of the year to prove that he's not a bust. Like if he can't make this thing work with Tua, then there's no reason. Like I saw a tweet the other day that was I don't know who it might have been Chris Perkins that posted it about how September has basically become the preseason for the NFL and
Mhm.
like October is technically when the season starts, which I thought was kind of interesting because like if you look at some of these teams, like the Niners are 1-3, they're not playing well. Like there's a lot of like Super Bowl, the Bengals awful.
Yeah.
The Ravens have been up and down. Like there's a lot of like Super Bowl aspiration type teams that have not performed in September. So that gives me like a glimmer, just enough to like keep the door open that, I'm so excited to turn the game on when Tua returns. But like I think the thing that worries me is if you go back to the Buffalo game, the offense looked like shit in that Buffalo game.
Yeah.
And then even against the Jags, we didn't look great.
Right.
But does that tie into I actually I tweeted this. The starters have 6 quarters together, 6 quarters total.
Yeah.
So it's a little like as much as I want to burn McDaniel at the stake, I also need to see him what he can do with Tua. When Tua's back in the game, does anything change? Or are we the offense that was in Jacksonville and we in the offense that was the first half of Buffalo with Tua, which was horrible?
I think. Well, I think that we even said this earlier before the season even started that River Craycraft being out is a problem. They don't have a legitimate number three. Braxton Berrios is dog water. He's
Yeah,
not
he's
good.
awful. Let's hope. I mean, Odell's practicing. Sounds like he's going to play this week.
I don't know if he's playing this week. I think he play next week.
Well, regardless, we should have a little
He's
help.
playing after the bye. That's what I meant. Because next week's the bye. So I think that we're gonna try to. I think they're gonna try to come back. I don't know where Craycraft is at, but the main problem I thought in that Jacksonville game is one, they were trying to do a two-horse race with Achan and Tyreek, and they had nothing outside of those two. Because I don't know what's going on with Waddle, but
Dude, that drop he had huge.
I don't understand what's going on with him. I think that I don't know if there's a trade candidate out there. I think it might be Waddle.
Oh, you have to cut that. I
I'm
can't
not
believe you just
cutting
said
that.
it. Oh no.
Yeah, we have it like
We just signed him. I mean, we're not trading. There's
I
no
know
way.
that I know that they're not going to do that, but I'm saying like I love Jalen, but at the same time like if he has not excelled as a number two, I feel like.
Well, again, I don't want to keep using this as an excuse, but like, dude, we have 3 practice squad quarterbacks who have played for this team since Tua has been hurt. And that's no one's fault but Greer, McDaniel, and Ross. Like that's their fault.
Right. You're right.
But it's also twofold. And that's why I've been so on the fence with this. And like I went back you've been pretty solid like season's dead. I'm like wavering back and forth because the thing that frustrates me is that when
You're trying to be optimistic. You're trying to be optimistic, Finns fan, and I'm not going to let you do it.
I know. But I think the thing that irritates me is that, and I forget who, someone said it in the locker room the other day. When your quarterback's out, the rest of the stars need to play better than they would normally.
And
And
they
that's not
don't.
happening.
They never play good even when it is a big game. That's the problem. Nobody shows up in a big game. Tyreek has never shown up in a big game. Waddle's
Yeah.
never shown up in a big game. Tua rarely shows up in a big game, whether or not he's available or not. Defensively, I don't know who shows up. I don't even know who we got.
Our defense played pretty well.
Jordan Poyer being out might be a good thing.
I think God, dude, you know, Brandon Jones and Deshaun
Yeah.
Elliott are both like top 5 safeties right now.
Right. Great job, Greer. Masterclass you're putting on.
Just like, how much different is this team if we let Wilkins walk and we sign Hunt, Gink, Jones, and Elliott and never sign Poyer?
They're probably much, much better.
I just don't, I don't like what in their
And
mind.
plus now Phillips is out for the year again.
That's a shame, dude.
Who
I
knows?
feel so bad for him.
Who knows if
He might not play another snap as a Dolphin.
you don't know if you're going to extend him or anything. I mean, I guess you can't. How can you
How
extend?
do you?
Uh,
Back-to-back season-ending injuries? I mean, the only saving grace is you could use that to fucking lowball him. And then if he comes back and he's good,
I mean, yeah. I don't know. Is Chubb going to play this year?
yeah, Chubb will be back after the bye.
Are we sure about that?
I'm 99% sure. Yeah, Chubb's going to play.
I don't know. It just doesn't seem. There just seems to be a lot of holes, and I have my concerns because it doesn't feel like the offense is any different than what it's ever been. There's no new wrinkle. Like last year, they added the cheat motion. This year, they added fullback dive and screen passes. That seems
I just don't like,
step
dude,
back.
we don't move the fucking ball downfield. Like we don't push the ball downfield. I don't understand what he's afraid of. What could be worse than the worst offense in the NFL? What could be worse? Other than maybe getting people hurt? But at this point,
It doesn't matter. Everyone's hurt all the time.
dude, everyone's already fucking hurt. Throw the ball downfield. Let playmakers make plays. And if they don't, ship them out. But we can't keep throwing fucking screen passes and expecting everyone to break a million tackles. Dude, we're asking Liam Eichenberg to get out in space and block.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem with everything you just said. Everyone put that narrative out there that that's the team that the Dolphins were, and you and I both know if you've been watching this Dolphins team for the last 2 years, that's not what they were. They were not like, yes, they had a lot of yak, but they pushed the ball down the field. They didn't push the ball at all this season. It feels like the offense has taken 2 steps backwards. Like, and I'm not talking like little steps, big steps. Like people have figured out how to stop McDaniel from doing what he's doing, and he's literally just trying to put a square peg in a round hole. He will
Yeah,
not do what he's doing.
he looks lost. Like I'm not like that's the best way to put it. He looks like he's in over his head.
Right. Yes. And that's why I think that it's not going to change and it's only going to get worse. I think that this last
No, it can't get worse with Tua coming back. It
I
can't.
think that they're going to try so hard to shove the narrative down everyone's throat that we are not this bad, that they will play that bad. They're going to get close, but it's going to be like, okay, well, we're going to have like the 16th pick in the draft and we're going to be in pick purgatory again. Like they always are.
I struggle. I was when they were wavering about Snoop playing or if he had full access to the playbook or whatever. I was sitting on the beach. I was sitting on the beach, thinking, what the fuck do these guys do all day? Your only job is to play football.
I don't know. My main concern is why did we cut Tim Boyle and keep Skylar Thompson when Skylar Thompson looks so
Omar said Skylar can't even fucking walk at practice. Who's playing backup quarterback this week?
I don't know. I have no idea. I literally do not know.
I'm like super. I don't know. I just don't understand. I don't.
And so if we're even looking forward to this game this tomorrow in New England, they're saying like there's a near mutiny in New England right now, but then that
I
report
did see that.
reporter,
I mean, yeah, Ben Volen said that, which you know how he's a fucking saboteur to begin with. But
yeah, he wants.
yeah, New England. I mean, they're a shithole team, but I also thought the Titans were a shithole team. So like, I don't even know what to expect. But the fact of the matter is, if we can't score, like we have to score 21 points to win a football game, and if we can't do that, we can't score 21 fucking points. I don't.
The offense did not look this bad whenever Tua was out in 2022, but it looks. I is it the difference between having Teddy Bridgewater in there? I mean, I guess it didn't really help either that they didn't have Armstead. The stats have shown when Armstead is in versus out, it gets ugly.
Which I think he's back, right? Because they said he was in practice. I think he's coming back.
I don't know. I'm just so fed up with everyone always being hurt. Like
Everyone's so our injury list every year is the longest.
there's
Every
never
single game.
yes, there's never a spot in the year other than training camp where somebody's not hurt. It's like they can't get 11 dudes just to be healthy for 1 week.
So what happened? You said Tua was going through warm-ups. I saw your text or whatever. I was obviously in the tailgate, but so what did they show?
They didn't show anything. They just showed a picture of Tua. He went through his entire warm up that he always does before every game. He went through it with Bevel before the Titans game. And it for he met with a bunch of neurosurgeons this week. No one's really said there's like no report other than that he met with several and that the NFL's not going to hold him back on making his decision. Once he clears protocol, he's free to do whatever he wants. And it feels like he's coming back for that Colts game.
The game after the bye.
Yeah, it feels like he's coming back after the bye because he was put on that IR and that IR runs out after the bye. I'm pretty sure.
Is it four? I don't remember. Is the IR 4 games or 4 weeks? I thought it was 4 weeks.
I believe it's 4 weeks, and then it ends after the bye week.
Okay.
So we have OBJ coming back, Tua coming back. This will be the first time like OBJ's practice with Tua, I'm assuming, at some point too. We have 2 full weeks to get ready for the rest of the season. Does it matter? I don't know. I think Mostert is playing this week finally.
Yeah.
About time. I saw a thing by Omar, which I know we can't really trust what Omar's saying, but Omar said that the main problem with the offense is that they don't have Raheem Mostert. So if you don't have Raheem Mostert,
Really?
that was the one thing he said during that Bills game. After the Bills game, they were like, well, what's one of the problems with the offense? He's like, they don't have Raheem Mostert. And I was like, I don't believe that, but maybe I am now because McDaniel has his guys. I don't understand why we're not using Jeff Wilson. I don't understand why they're not using Jalen Wright more. I don't understand why.
Jalen Wright looked good. That was a bright spot Monday night. He looked good running the football.
He does, but I don't understand why our go-to is to put a 170-pound running back in the backfield and think that we're going to be a running football team.
I know.
I don't like that one bit. I would rather have Jalen Wright out there starting and then have Achane sub in for third down and stuff.
So Tua is able to play. I
thought he was able to play after the bye.
Let me see. I'm looking that up.
While Trey's looking that up, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you check us out on socials. He is at Sad Fins Fan, and I am at That's So Fins Talk. It feels like this team is like so cursed though. Like nothing goes right. Everything goes wrong for this team.
Everything, dude.
And you're trying to be optimistic Fins fan over here.
I am because I just struggle. I know how much preparation goes into running the type of offense. And again, we can't change what McDaniel has created. He created this offense. So, like, throw that out the window. Whether we agree or disagree on if it was a good idea to build an offense that literally only like 3 people in the fucking world can run. Also, on that point, think about this. There's 32 starting quarterbacks in the NFL. Probably only like 15 of them are actually good. So there's 15 humans on the planet who are good at quarterback, who can play professional quarterback and be good.
Mm-hmm.
Of those 15 humans, We created an offense that maybe only two can run, and one of them's in the fucking booth calling games. So we have an offense that only one person on the planet can run, and they have the most injury-prone situation I've ever seen.
And that is mismanaged.
That's a problem.
That's a problem.
That's a problem. But in saying that we can't do anything about that. I can judge McDaniel on that. I'm still holding back on judging him based off what he has on the field currently.
I can't. He still has Tyreek Hill out there. He still has Jalen Waddle out there. He still has Jonnu Smith. Like, he still has people on the field that can play. And other teams are figuring out how to win games. For God's sakes, the Vikings are playing out of their mind with a really good defense, which apparently the Dolphins are supposed to have a really good defense. And they're playing with Sam Darnold. He's MVP of the league right now.
Yeah, that's wild. That's interesting. But how many Jets talks and Panthers talks have had these conversations about Sam Darnold and now he's MVP of the league? Like, could that's the other thing too. Like, people have had these exact same talks about quarterbacks, and Tua could leave here and become an MVP somewhere. Like, that's the type of shit that happens with the Dolphins. So he actually can't come back. It's 4 games, not 4 weeks. So he can't come back till after the Colts game.
It doesn't matter. They're going to lose that Colts game anyways. Joe Flacco is going to drop dimes all over.
Fucking bunch of Joe Flacco. The thing I thought that I said in my plan the next 3 games were winnable. That Titans game was still fucking winnable. This week's winnable, and even with Snoop Huntley, this game's winnable. The Patriots are a dumpster fire. I know we are too, but I think they're more dumpster fiery. They have no hope. They have no hope. I don't know why they're not playing Drake May.
I don't know why. I don't think that the Finns have hope. I think the Finns are worse off than the Patriots.
I could not disagree. That's for John. We were the #1 offense in the league last year, and Tua played 6 quarters.
Now they're the worst. They have that
because we don't have the fucking best. Dude, he won the passing title last year.
It doesn't matter. The people that he was throwing to are still there,
and they're still here now.
Yeah, that's the problem. They're not doing anything.
They're not. They all might be Tua made. I'm not saying that. The Chiefs? Is the Chiefs season over if Pat Mahomes goes on the IR for 4 weeks?
Well, no, it's only 4 weeks. He can come back and win every single game.
After that 4 weeks.
Actually, you know what? It depends on who their backup quarterback is, because Chase Daniel went out there and won a wild card game.
Is it still Chad Henne?
I wish it was Chad Henne.
Skylar Thompson has beat the fucking Bills in the playoff game. What are we doing?
Yeah, we did that with the same people that are on this team right now, and they're not even sniffing them.
I just think there's something wrong. McDaniel might be drinking.
I don't know what he's doing, but I think that he's either Tua made or we just got lucky. I think they just got lucky for 2 years, and everyone.
That's hard to do for 2 years. I think Tua is a bigger piece to McDaniel's success.
Well, hopefully somebody's been sitting there trying to figure out how to be too high and try to tell McDaniel, hey, we need to figure out how to be too high because that's all everyone's doing to us. The Bills are even playing 3 high at some point.
Yeah, the answer is run the football. I think that's what he's trying to do with these screen passes, but they're not working because they're playing.
The answer is
too,
throwing the ball more than the damn ball.
I know.
But the state of the Dolphins for me is that they're doomed. They're done. They're dead. They're dead in the water.
Do you think Tua comes back and nothing changes? Do you think we're losing out?
I don't think they're losing out, but I don't think that it's just going to magically turn everything around. I don't think they're going to win. They're not going to come back and win. I think they win like maybe 5.
Do you think returning the league leader in passing last year does not change anything for the offense?
No, because they were barely
based off of 6 weeks. I'm sorry, 6 quarters of him playing football.
They were barely beating the Jags.
Okay, week 1. We know how week 1s go in the NFL.
I'm saying maybe 5 games they win.
Okay. All right. We are going to agree to disagree. I think you plug in the most accurate passer potentially in the history of the NFL back into an offense that was built for him with skill position players that know how to get open, that he has timing with. Got to remember, the majority of his awful fucking plays were horrible routes, horrible drops by Durham Smythe, things of that nature. Like, and I think he was pushing too much in that Bills game. I really think he was pushing too hard. But I struggle to think that they're going to bring Tua back and we're only going to win 5 games total. That's 4 more games.
Oh no, I meant like they're going to win 6 games. I think that they're going to go 6-10.
Okay. You could be right. I mean, Tua could also come back and fucking
I don't want
again.
all parts of me doesn't want that to be true, but that's just what I'm seeing with my eyes, and I'm not gonna let my heart stand in front of my eyes because I do that every year. And you know what? It probably will happen. I'll probably be sitting here in 3 weeks after they blow out whoever, whenever Tua comes back, and we look great, and then we're over here dancing, and then they're gonna drop one to like the Jets or something like that.
We just got to win. We just got to win the next 2. 3-3. Tua comes back.
I don't know. I don't have no. I don't feel good about it. I told you they were going to drop the next 3. You said they were going to win the next 3. So we're on opposite ends of the spectrum, and I'm not. I'm saying they're dead.
Dead in the water.
Dead in the water. No hope. They're going to have to go through a full rebuild.
Oh, we're not. There's no way. There's no way.
They need to fire Greer. They need to bring a new GM in and retool the offense and retool the defense.
What's wrong with the defense? Played well. It's been playing well. Let's look up our defensive efficiency.
Actually, the defensive efficiency, they're like the first team in the NFL in third down, and the offense is dead last in third down. I don't think that you're right. The defense isn't the problem. It's the offense, because the offense does nothing and the defense is on the field the entire game. But the defense is still banged up.
Well, AI has us generated as a strong passing defense. Let's see what we're looking at here. Jordan Poyer can go. He's a fucking saboteur, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're 6th in yards allowed.
So the defense,
great.
huh?
Which is great.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think I got a little too hot takey there about the defense.
We're 5th in passing defense. Yards allowed. This is strictly yards are allowed stat. So don't fucking start tweeting about I'm not looking at. And middle of the pack, 16th in rushing yards allowed. Which makes sense. I agree that people have been running the ball on us. We've given up 7 fucking rushing touchdowns, which is like 2nd in the league. Like, we've given up a lot of rushing touchdowns. But holy shit, the Commanders are giving up 10 passing touchdowns. I don't know. I think this is so. We've got to find a way to win even just one of these games. Give us a little bit of hope, a little bit.
Maybe I don't know. I think they lose in New England tomorrow, and then I think that if they win or they play in Indy, or is it in Miami?
I think it's in Indy.
That's going to be a hard game to win in Indy. But maybe they win
In Ladhass.
in Ladhass. Maybe
Yeah, it's in.
Okay, maybe they win. Maybe they win in Indy. I'm gonna say they have a chance to win in Indy, but I don't think they have a chance to win tomorrow.
You don't think they have a chance to beat the Patriots, who are dead last in every single fucking statistical category?
Yes,
Okay.
division game.
Yeah, division games don't matter when you have Gerard Mayo as your head coach anymore.
But let us know what you guys think in the comments of the Dolphins, the state of the Dolphins. I think they're dead in the water. Trey's being optimistic Finn fan. But we'll see tomorrow in New England. I think they're going to lose because I'm trying to protect myself here.
I'm ready to be hurt again.
But let us know what you think in the comments. Subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time on That's So Fins Talk.